Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including the full self-driving beta hacked and leaked, more Tesla shortages to come, Edmunds' scathing Model S review, new Tesla world records, more Yoke concepts for future cars, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, a reminder that Tesla's Sentry Mode and dashcam systems are incredibly useful to have in your car. If you don't have a drive connected, be sure to get one, but luckily Teslas include them by default now. Just recently, a police department in Louisiana arrested a man who falsely claimed he was hit by a Tesla. He claimed he was hit by a Model 3 backing up, called authorities, and a fire truck and ambulance responded since he complained of back, leg, and neck injuries. According to him, the Model 3 backed into him, causing him to hit the pavement, and the Model 3 owner fled the scene. When the police spoke with the Tesla driver, they told a very different story, which likely would have been tough to resolve. Luckily for the Tesla driver, the Tesla was recording the event with the rear camera, as they do all the time. The video evidence clearly showed the car stopping and the person purposely acting like they got hit and dropping themselves to the floor. After the video was seen, the man admitted he was lying and was arrested for, quote, false swearing with the intent to cause an emergency response. What's great in this situation is that nobody was truly injured, and the truth was able to come out thanks to the dashcam system included in every Tesla. It's another great feature that these cars have that repeatedly proves its worth. Next up, I talked last week about how Edmunds called the Tesla Model S Plaid the quickest car they've ever tested, but now their full review has been released and they seem to hate every aspect of this car. On Twitter they said, quote, the Tesla Model S Plaid is nothing more than a marketing exercise designed to draw attention to an aging car. Also, the Yoke is a joke. Our full review of the fastest car we've ever tested. They further said, quote, it's a car that's good for one thing and one thing only. This might work for you if you live on a drag strip. Of course, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but it's pretty crazy to see how wildly different this review is from, say, every other review of this car, even from very trusted sources like Doug DeMuro. It seems that they are trying to have a $130,000 battery-powered zero-emissions car that happens to be the quickest available make practical sense for the average driver. Of course, it's not going to make sense for every single driver, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. The Yoke is controversial, but so is every new technology, and Elon Musk expanded on this on Twitter this week. He, like many other forward-thinking people, doesn't want to just do the same thing with their cars. Just because cars have always had steering wheels and that's what we're used to with muscle memory doesn't mean that it can't change. When asked, quote, Elon, were there practical reasons for the Yoke or does it just look cool? He responded, quote, yet another round wheel is boring and blocks the screen. FSD in panoramic mode looks way better with a Yoke. Here he only mentions a normal wheel being the same as it has been for years and it blocking your view more than a Yoke, and doesn't really talk about functionality of actually using the Yoke. So I'd be curious to see if there was something going on with Tesla there. Maybe the Yoke ends up safer or puts your back in a better driving position, or maybe it just truly looks cool and is different enough to grab headlines. In any case, I've driven the Yoke a lot at this point and I like it, but I'm probably a bit biased and I'll give a full review after driving a Plaid Model S for a few months or so. More videos to come soon, but I actually just picked up Model S Plaid for the channel and I'll be doing a road trip this weekend and many more videos in the next few weeks, so stay tuned. Edmunds said what they did about the Yoke, but shortly after, Elon Musk posted on Twitter, quote, Tesla Model S Plaid just set official world speed record for a production electric car at Nurburgring, completely unmodified directly from factory. This is already very impressive, although some people wish it was not the electric category only, and maybe Tesla will be able to beat that record soon by modifying the car. I was doubtful that they were going to beat this record with the Yoke actually being used, but they posted the official point of view video of the drive happening. We can see one extra screen showing the speedometer a little bit closer, but other than that, he is driving with the Yoke and also using track mode, which Elon Musk says now is coming soon, along with waypoints. It's pretty crazy to watch this video because anybody can buy this car and get it just in the condition that it is to beat this record, which is absolutely insane and incredibly impressive for Tesla on their new Model S Plaid, even with the crazy Yoke. Further speaking of the Yoke though, Tesla is the first to release it in a major car, but other manufacturers are clearly getting inspired by it. The Toyota BZ4X concept includes photos of a steering yoke. We're not sure if this will make it to production as an option or not, but VW also just released their new ID concept that previews what their upcoming $24,000 electric car could look like. This car has a cool, small hatchback design and should be a great competitor to the upcoming $25,000 Tesla that Elon Musk recently said should be coming in 2023. These are clearly renders and include a very, very small front screen, but take lots of inspiration from Tesla with an incredibly incredibly clean dash, and also a yoke. This yoke has a rounder design than Tesla's, but includes what looks exactly like shifter, PR, and D touch-sensitive buttons, and touch-sensitive blinker buttons just like the Model S has. Whether these come about or not, clearly two major automakers see some sort of future vision including a yoke, and Tesla isn't just putting out a product that nobody is considering. Surely it could be improved upon, but other automakers are testing the waters on the idea of the yoke as well, and we'll see what the future holds for that, steering wheel-less cars, and more. Next up, Tesla's full self-driving beta continues to be testing, and it will be for a long time. But now it has been found out that the FSD beta has actually leaked. It is being passed around what many call the Tesla hacking community. These are people who do root access with Linux-based systems like Tesla's, and they have been able to look through Tesla's software updates or activate unreleased or dormant features. This is something that someone like @GreenTheOnly does, a frequent Tesla hacking source, with future info on upcoming releases. Reportedly, the FSD beta firmware has been accessed and has been going around this community for a while, with people not in the beta program actually being able to run the beta in their vehicles. They have kept it quiet so far, but then a Ukrainian Tesla owner posted a video of them running version 8.2 of Tesla's FSD beta. The FSD beta has not been released there, even for beta testers, and would not be allowed to run under normal circumstances, so this is clearly a hacker who received this beta. Tesla is currently on versions 9.2 plus, so this is an older version of the FSD beta, but multiple sources have reported that version 9 is indeed being passed around as well. In this Ukrainian video, the software actually handles pretty well all things considered, like the fact that it has only been trained for US roads, and it shows how Tesla's concept is different than others. Instead of mapping everywhere with high quality maps, they're trying to create a system that reacts like a human would, and can handle any situation just like a human, but hopefully safer. Reportedly, Tesla was unaware that the beta had leaked, and that this is being passed around, but since this video and multiple articles, they are definitely going to know. Luckily, the hack and leak of this software has been limited, and the community passing it around has no bad intention for the software, but people have attempted to purchase it from them. What will be interesting to see going forward is if it ends up being further hacked or leaked as Tesla releases this software to the general public. Many subscribe to the idea that once Tesla gets full autonomy, if they do, every other company will just reverse engineer what Tesla did in software, and will be able to make their own version. But the frequent argument back is that people thought that this would happen with iOS, Google, and many other websites or softwares that are far too big to copy or reverse engineer. Likely after these hacks and leaks, Tesla will put a tighter seal on this software if possible. In any case, the latest timelines for a public release of FSD from Elon Musk are that it should be coming sometime this month, but we all know by now not to get our hopes up. Tesla is currently working on beta version 10 though, which would be close to the public release, and Elon Musk gave a few timeline updates on Twitter, saying, quote, "Expansion will be gradual based on ensuring maximum safety." That's pretty unclear, but definitely doesn't look great for a wide release to tons of people later this month. Safety is paramount, but Tesla has also promised these features for so long that customers are very frustrated. However, regarding its functionality, Elon said, quote, "The build I'm driving right now is almost there. FSD 10 will blow your mind." As always, take this with a grain of salt, but it feels like we're getting close to something releasable with Tesla's full self-driving beta. Next up, Tesla's demand keeps soaring and their delivery timelines keep getting pushed back. As I've been talking about for the past few months, expect it to get worse before it gets better, and now a leaked email from Elon Musk is really emphasizing how challenging this quarter is for Tesla regarding parts shortages. We've seen how long it has taken for the Model S Plaid deliveries to get underway. In order to get mine, I was checking Tesla inventory constantly for 3 days and finally was able to get one in San Diego. White interior is impossible to find, and the delivery date for my original configuration has continually been pushed back. In any case, their car delivery estimates are as far out as 4 months for the Model 3 and Y, and now even the most expensive performance Model Y has been pushed out as far as November delivery, showing 3 to 8 weeks for a delivery timeframe. Multiple sources confirming with Sawyer Merritt reported that on Wednesday, Elon sent an email to employees. Apparently it said something along the lines of Q3 21 delivery wave will be the most hardcore and challenging in Tesla history due to parts shortages. Tesla built cars with missing parts and is adding them later. Techs and contractors are getting it done. A direct quote said, quote, 22 days to ensure Q3 deliveries. This is the biggest wave in Tesla history, but we got to get it done. We've seen photos of tons of built Model S's sitting in parking lots waiting for parts to be delivered, and it seems that Tesla is having to do this, get the necessary parts later, and then deliver them to customers to try and navigate supply challenges rather than stopping their assembly line entirely. Unfortunately, this may reflect in build quality, which already isn't perfect, and I'll have a video coming on that soon for my Tesla Model S Plaid. But for now, until Tesla builds up their new factories, it's how they can meet demand and navigate these shortages. To be clear, my Model S is fantastic, but Tesla does often have to fix issues before and after delivery to keep the ball rolling. Other companies are shutting down entirely, but people keep wanting Teslas and they're finding ways to get it done. In any case, now is both the best and worst time to try to buy a Tesla. For the worst time argument, their prices are at a peak, with the Model Y selling for a starting price higher than ever. However, if you're able to take delivery soon, these cars may hold their value well and actually increase in value in the short term as chips continue to be in short supply. That's part of the argument for it being a great time to buy a Tesla, and other arguments include skyrocketing gas prices, even higher future demand, and more. Just to put it out there, if you are trying to take delivery soon and aren't 100% set on your configuration, you can usually find what you need in inventory. To take Plaid delivery, I decided I'd be okay with black interior and a different paint color than I preferred. I also kind of wanted the 19-inch wheels for the extra range and better ride quality, and that became available. If you check Tesla's inventory site constantly, changing zip codes to find cars in close by areas, or go to tesla-info.com, they will pop up periodically. I saw at least 100 different Plaids pop up around the United States that all sold within minutes, and finally snagged one available in Carlsbad, about 80 miles from where I live. I've seen the same happen with Model 3s and Ys on the inventory page as I was checking, but you just have to move quickly to buy it and eat another $250 order fee. Usually if you try to contact your Tesla advisor to match the VIN, it'll be too late and the car will have already been bought by someone else. That's one way to take delivery soon, and again, we're not seeing these factors let up. Supply and chip shortages have been happening this entire year, and now Q3 is supposed to be the most challenging yet for Tesla, so the argument remains that prices will increase, demand will increase, and getting a Tesla could become even more challenging in the next few months, so it might be a good idea to buy now if you're ready. Next up, Tesla has officially been granted a new wild patent by the US Patent Office. When Tesla unveiled the Roadster, there was a new single windshield wiper design, but that still doesn't seem clean enough for Tesla's taste, even though it's an advanced wiper using an electromagnetic linear actuator to get rid of moisture on the windshield. This new patent, though, includes a technology for Tesla to essentially use lasers instead of windshield wipers. Quote, "A cleaning system for a vehicle includes a beam optics assembly that emits a laser beam to irradiate a region on a glass article of the vehicle. Debris detection circuitry that detects debris accumulated over the region, and control circuitry." That is definitely a mouthful, and this might be one of the craziest patents or ideas I've seen come from Tesla, even including the cold gas SpaceX thruster concept for the Roadster. It doesn't sound like it would completely eliminate wipers, and it may focus on getting rid of dirt and debris that could also specifically help with anything blocking the cameras for autopilot, but it's still a crazy concept that they now have an official patent for. Of course, a patent doesn't guarantee a future product integration, but it does show how much Tesla is working on future innovations in every part of the car. Their cars get rid of things, introduce things like the Yoke, and they plan to get rid of a steering wheel, possibly windshield wipers, and much more down the line, while other companies are sticking with fairly similar car designs down the line. These ideas will all pan out differently, and not everything will work out for Tesla, of course, but it's still fun to see things like a Tesla laser wiper that is something that they're actually considering down the line, just like the Tesla Bot. Next up, further expanding on parts shortages we were talking about earlier, Samsung is reportedly building a new $17 billion chip plant, and it will be located just 40 minutes away from Tesla's Giga Texas factory. The source said, quote, "So far, Samsung Electronics has thoroughly reviewed 4 to 5 locations for the STAR project. What I learned is that Samsung finally chose Taylor after taking into account investment, incentives, and geographic conditions." Samsung is already a key supplier for Tesla's chips used in their FSD computer, and they are produced in Austin right now. Now this new facility in Taylor, Texas will surely be a key supplier for Tesla and the Cybertruck going forward, which should be introducing the new FSD 4.0 computer according to Elon Musk. Samsung is reportedly planning to hold a groundbreaking ceremony in Q1 of 2022 for this factory and begin operations by Q4 of 2024. That's a long ways off, and the industry could really use many more chips much sooner than that, but these are incredibly detailed factories that take a long time to get up and running. In any case, it's good news for Tesla's expansion of Giga Texas being so close to this new Samsung chip factory that should be running in 2025. Last up today, Mercedes just announced a whole lineup of electric vehicles to come in the future. They first launched the EQB, which is an electric SUV that seats up to 7. It's likely an introduction to compete with the Model Y, and they say, quote, "With the new EQB, we have designed an iconic electric SUV which incorporates the square forms of our off-roaders and projects them into the future. Its significant silhouette is combined with futuristic elements such as the black panel front to create the extraordinary look of this vehicle. 5 seats are standard with the option of 7, and it gets about 217 miles of range on the EPA standard, more than 100 less than the Model Y. Mercedes does say that a longer range version is coming when it launches in the US next year. In a better standing for range is the EQE that Mercedes unveiled with 400 miles of range. Quote, "The battery has a usable energy content of 90 kilowatt hours and the range up to 660 kilometers according to WLTP is absolutely suitable for touring." They haven't announced official pricing yet, but many predict it to be competitive for the E-Class, which starts around $55,000 in the US. Likely that'll be for a smaller range version, and the long-range 400-mile version will be far more expensive. Then the EQG is in the same lineup, sharing much of the same technology, but for off-roading. Quote, "With the concept EQG, Mercedes-Benz presents the near-production study of an all-electric model variant of its utilitarian off-road icon. No official specs or pricing have been released for this car, but it's great to see this style coming in an electric model from Mercedes." Then there's the very expensive luxury Maybach SUV. Quote, "With the concept EQS, Mercedes-Maybach is providing a clear preview of the first fully electric series production model for the traditional steeped luxury brand." It's still just a concept, a very wild one for sure, but Mercedes says it's near production. There are a lot of great EV concepts on the way, and I really hope we see all of these new cars come from Mercedes for real and achieve ranges high enough to make them worth it in their already expensive price points. They plan to go all electric by 2030, so we will see a lot from them in the next few years with electric vehicles. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the latest on Tesla's $1 billion advantage, you can check out that video linked over here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.